Hello everyone, it's Professor Ryan Fight back with a simple Thursday stream review. So this time around we have a very interesting cards today. So we have cards for Michu and also Lutetia, as well as some of the generic cards which will be coming out for like next booster, like next booster set, as well as some of the PR cards which will be coming out for the next coming month. So yes, sit on tight because we're gonna go through probably not much cards today, probably around like 7 to 8 cards, but it's pretty interesting. It's pretty an interesting stream review of cards tonight. So yes, let's get straight into it and let's go. So before we begin, I would like to say, if you haven't, subscribed to this channel yet, please hit like and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Hit that notification bell and let's get straight into the news for tonight. And so first things first, we want to make sure that the first card of the night is a tasty encounter Hizumi, which is a Michu support. Now this is a great one, it is a rare. So the skill is that when this unit boosts, auto Vanguard skill, when this unit boosts, if your Vanguard with Michu in this card name attack this turn, you Soul Charge 1 and this unit gets 5k power until the end of the battle. So it's pretty okay-ish, it's a 13k booster and you get the Soul Charge 1 because of course if there's some Michu players will understand like Soul is pretty much necessary in this deck, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, that's what she does. So this one is pretty interesting. So only one Precious Thing Milagros. So it is a great tool. It is a double rare for Michu support. Now the skill is that also when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, you have a Michu Vanguard. You put one card from your hand to your soul and you choose one cannonball order from your drop zone and add it to your hand. And if you have 3 or more face down cards in the damage zone and if you do not CC during this turn, you get to CC 1, right? So which is kind of nice. If there are 3 or more face downs in the damage zone, not CC 1, okay. Now continuous trigger skill, if a cannonball card was put in the drop zone from the order zone during this turn, she gets 10k power, so which is pretty good. Not only that it was she's a 20k attacker early game or late game regardless. You can already pop this card when you have a rate 2 Michu Vanguard, so it's pretty nice. And it's also a CC, which is kind of nice, for Michu is pretty good. A great counter charger for Michu. And yes, of course, you can play the cannonball cards, add more cannonball cards in your hand, for future use. Perhaps you want to bounce back grade 3 order card, or you want to bounce back grade 2 order cards, depending on the situation. So it's pretty nice, I would say. 20k attacker is kind of nice. CC is also kind of nice. So that's all for for Michu this time around. And so after that we have Lutetia. Okay. Yes, I said Lutetia on the early part of the video, right? I hope I don't get that wrong. Okay, now this one will be Lutetia support. So this time around we have Rating Staging, we have Novus. So it is a great one. It is also a rare card. So this card, what she does is that at the end of the battle that this unit is boosted, if there are 5 or more curse plays in your soul, you retire this unit. You choose up to 2 curse plays in cards in your soul and add it to your hand. Now, granted, curse play cards or like curse play orders is really important in Lutetia, so because like you need to use her for her Lutetia's withstand. But also it's kind of like good in several reasons, because first things first, you can technically allows you to recycle some of the curse play orders to your hand. You can choose like 2 blades. Perhaps you want to choose 2 blades order that pops at your hand, or perhaps you want to choose 2 normal curse play orders and just put it to your hand, or probably one of each, which is kind of like good for both offense and defense depending on the context of the situation. So it's pretty good for moments to be like using these kind of cards to be there. So it's good for Lutetia, I would say. I would say it's pretty solid card for Lutetia. And after that, this one is very nice. So we have Flattery Lollipop Miriam. So this is grade 2, this is double rare, and the skill is that when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, if you have a Lutetia Vanguard, you discard a card from your hand. You look at top 7 cards of your deck, you choose up to 2 curse plays from among them, reveal it, and add it to your hand, then you shuffle your deck. If no cards were revealed, you draw 1 card, and that is also nice. That's the first skill. Second skill, continuous Vanguard Circle. If a curse play order card was played during this turn, this unit gets boost. Now it's good for several reasons, because number one, you can already proc this early game. If you have a grade 2 Lutetia Vanguard, it's not like great lock, so which means that you can look for a lot of like up to 2 curse plays in like add it to your hand. And at worst case scenario, you can even if you don't find like any curse play orders, you at least can draw 1 card, which is pretty nice on its own. So and the and all of the you know how Lutetia is really reliant on curse play orders, so perhaps you might need you know, you can bounce back, like you can search for, let's say for example, like 2 blitz orders or 1 blitz order, 1 normal order to your hand. Excuse me, right, and add it to your hand, and then you can just do your shenanigans away with this card. So which is, you know, do shenanigans with Lutetia next turn. Probably you want to defend it, you know, use it for the blitz order for defense, and then you can use the normal order for next time round. And not only that, she also is a time play booster, which is kind of nice. So Lutetia has like a lot of like, you know, probably you can replace this card with like some of the Lutetia cards that you're not gonna be playing. So it's pretty welcome for Lutetia to use this card. So it's kind of nice for Lutetia, you know, to get really solid support, I would say, right? Okay, now after that we have for BT13, we have technically the Lingering Dragon Brightholders. So technically it's the same generic cards for almost all of the, like for all grade 3, you know, for all nations this time around. So this time we have the Dragon Empire. So again, I'm gonna like, you know, explain the skill is that auto when placed on Vanguard Circle or Guardian Circle, you choose, if you have a grade, you can reveal a grade 4 card from a grade 4 card in your hand, reveal it, or if you have a grade 4 Vanguard, and depending on what circles this unit is placed on, activate the following effects. If you place on the Vanguard Circle, you choose one if your opponents retire it, and opponent's Vanguards retire and he gets 5k until the end of turn, so 18k attacker, and you have to retire one, which is nice. And GC, self-explanatory, gets 15k shield until the end of the battle, so it's really good. And then the second skill is that when it is discarded for riding from riding a grade 3 from the right deck or for strike, then you get to draw 1 card. So technically a Balif for Shiranui, or you know, for Mahanimana. Or yeah, because like the grade, again, the only grade 4 cards, as everybody knows at this point, is only like Shiranui and Mahanimana. This card probably might be good in Shiranui in some cases, but for Mahanimana you probably need some space, because I know that Mahanimana is like a very tight deck. Not only you have 4 trick stars in your deck, but you also need to make room for your overdress units, as well as some of the supports like Amelia, Red Suji, for example, you know, PGs, etc. Yeah, so you have to make room for this. But hopefully, I would say that like this card is not gonna be like super sought after, but I feel like it's gonna be, this price is probably be like reasonable price. But nonetheless, that's not the point of this. But you know, the point is that it's a very good card for Shiranui, because technically it's a Balif for Shiranui. So you get to draw 1 card, and you know, and depending on where you want to place, like if he's gonna be swinging for 18k, and you know, 18k and Tire 1 is also kind of nice, and 15k shield is also kind of nice. But I would say that Mahanimana lacks the space for this guy, but I would say Shiranui has it. So depending on what you want to play, I hope that you know, Dragon Empire players can, you know, somehow make it work. But then again, the grade 3 cards, like all of the grade 3 cards up until this point, space is an issue. So perhaps you need to make room for like whatever cards that you want to see fit in the future. Like how do you want to like build your decks? If you can probably take this into consideration. So yeah, we have to see. We have to see how it goes. Now, this one is pretty funny because like the first time I saw it, I was thinking like this is basically just the Tachikaze. Now, Tachikaze is now back in D, but albeit this time around it's not technically outright Tachikaze, but it has the effects of Tachikaze, because why? It's technically you know, a Dino Dragon, right? So what we have here is Steel Lord Dragon Spinomarquis, or like Spinomarquis if you want to read it in French. So it is Spinomarquis. Okay, now, the skill is that when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, you choose up to 2 Dino Dragons from among them, call them the Vanguard Circle, and then you shuffle your deck. Alright, so that's the first skill. Second skill, Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you counterblast one and retire one of your Dino Dragon's rearguards, and you draw one card and gets 10k until the end of the battle. Choose up to one Dino Dragon from your hand, call it to rearguard circle, and retire all of your opponent's rearguard in the same column as this unit, right? So this card, this PR, will be the next. I would say this one is for the PR card for November, so monthly Bushiroad magazine for November. It has already outlined the outright states in that particular description. Okay, now this time round, this is a very interesting deck. It is. Now, then again, it kind of like it is a deck that revolves around like Dino Dragons. But indeed, there's not much good Dino Dragons aside from like what I said, Tri-Bash, which allows your Vanguard to get the extra crit when your Vanguard attacks, I think. So that Tri-Bash is technically a rare card from like a Triceratops rare card from BT01, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have Brachiophos. Brachiophos is pretty generic and widely used in, especially you see this card a lot in Gandiva decks, and then you have like some other I can't really think of some of the Dino Dragons on top of my mind, but they have a lot. But not all of them have like very good, decent skills. But I mean, that it's gonna make it work, and hopefully in BT13 there's gonna be like a lot of Dino Dragons for this time round to actually give support for this guy, for Spinomarquis, right? First impression of this card was that it kind of reminds me of like, of course this is a this is like the TACHI because you retire one rearguard in order for you to have like a spear call, because if you can do at least like 4 attacks, because thanks to the Vanguard attacking skill, and then you get the power plus, and then you get to retire, and then if you add with Tri-Bash skill, it's gonna like swinging for like at least like 23k double quick. So it kind of reminds me of like Spino Driver or Military Raptor, Raptor Colonel, or like what else are there? I'm not sure what Gaia Emperor, I would say. It kind of reminds me that kind of like aesthetic and playstyle. So it's kind of nice that this this dragon Spinomarquis is in this in this deck. So I would say it's a solid Vanguard. It's unlike time stamping dragon, because like time stamping dragon is like super weird, but this one is like super nice and super consistent. And then you can just like do it for the multi-attack shenanigans, and you can do a lot of things, right? So Pyro Dignil is also one of them. I would say Pyro Dignil is the one that's a common card in like BT05, if I'm not mistaken. When at the end of the battle that this unit attack, he can just shove himself to the soul. It's a great 3, and then give one of your units plus 5k. I think it's a Vanguard, or give one of your units 5k. I think it's a Vanguard, if I'm not mistaken. But you can correct me on that, right? So yeah, it's pretty nice. TACHI Kaze is back in B, albeit in a different form. So I would say it's a very, very solid Vanguard this time around. Now, like I said earlier, some Dino Dragons to look out for. You have Aerophas, you have Eastport, and you have Brachiophos. Now, like I said, Brachiophos is a card that you will be commonly seeing like a lot of Gandiva decks because of the draw power when it hits. Gatesport is different because it's a card that specifically works best in like Eugene. Because Eugene has to rest 2 rearguards to retire 1 unit and plus 10k to himself. And if Gatesport managed to if during that turn you manage to retire your rearguard, Gatesport can stand itself at plus 2k. Now Aeroplus is pretty non-existent, and is in like not really widely used in decks nowadays, because his presence in D is so minor that nobody even wants to play this card, right? So I would say that he probably have finally found some use in this deck, so that's pretty good enough. Because like at the end of the battle deck, he boosted his Soul Blast one, and you have to choose one of your grade 1 or less other rearguards and plus 5k until the end of battle. So Power Pump is okay, I would say. So which kind of nice. So, and there's many other more Dino Dragons in this format that probably might have good skills and try to combo with Spinomarquis as much as possible. So that's it, right? Okay, now for the next card, it is going to be super interesting, right? So this is a Stealth Fiend, Shenli, and it's a Gekkan Bushiroad PR, which is different from like the monthly Bushiroad PR, because it's going to be sold on May 25th. and it's drawn by one of the Bomat Sensei, wait, Bomhat, right? Which is one of the artists for like SECP card for PT13 for the collect cards. Now, this has a very interesting card. Effect. So the skill, auto regard when this unit boosts if your opponent has one or less regards, or if you play an owner card resistant, this unit gets 5k until the end of the battle, and then at the end of that battle you put this to your soul and draw one card. Now, this card is virtually so good, you can play this in almost all Dragon Empire decks, right? Gandiva, for example, because Gandiva does a lot of like board wipe, and if best case scenario, if you have best harvest, which procs. So what else? Vermilion. Vermilion kind of like fixes a lot of issues because like a lot of Vermilion players have told me that draw power is still a thing even though they played 4 draw, so that draw so this card along with the new grade 3 PR card coming out like recently, it's gonna be like super good. What else? Tamayura, arguably because of like broken play, like broken toys, as well as the Foxart grade 3, the Foxart grade 3 normal order. That Soul Blast 2 in Core Ririmi and Rarami to the Rearguard Circle, which is arguably you can play this card in that deck. But then it's a space issue. You can also play this in Shoujo Doji and Mega Lono Tsuchi, but granted, Mega Lono Tsuchi and Shoujo Doji doesn't do much retiring, nor they play a lot of normal orders. But then again, it's a stealth theme, so make use of whatsoever you will. I'm not sure if this is going to be like super viable for like for both Shoujo Doji and Mega Lono Tsuchi. So you'll have to see. Dote is out of the question. It's difficult but not impossible because Dote doesn't do much retiring, and Dote doesn't really play. Dragonic Overlord DN doesn't really play a lot of like normal orders, so it's really gonna be like difficult. Baba Sagra, I'll argue it's also like possible to play this deck, but then it's also like space issues because your deck is already filled with arms. Some of the recent support like Velward and the grade 2 prayer, and like grade 2 Sealed Blaze Dragon, some of the other additional support. So the arms order is still an order card, so you still can proc the skill to draw one card and put this to soul and draw one card, which Baba Sagra really needs the soul. For her to replenish to Soul Blast 2 and retire front row and plus 1 crit, right? So you get the shenanigans, right? And what other Dragon Empire decks out there that are viable to play this card? I'm not sure. So far at this point, I would say like Nirvana's. For Maha Nirvana and Jiva, I think it's gonna be like out of the question because Maha Nirvana doesn't really retire much, and doesn't really play that much like normal orders. Jiva, arguably the least you can do is play Cat in Prayer, which is the Golden Trickstar, but then again, I find it like really difficult because not many decks nowadays in Jiva that mixes both overdress and cross overdress and play the order, thereby the deck options, I will say that the deck built for that Jiva is already pretty wonky. So I'm not sure this card has the space for it, so that's probably difficult but not impossible. So again, it depends on how you want to when you want to shove this card in. But I would say that the best 2 options so far for this card to work the most, I would say, is because of Vermilion and Gandiva, right? So not to mention Vermilion, I would want to add one more thing, because like Vermilion, you can play the Eternal Thunderbolt normal order from your drop zone as well, so which considers as you playing that order, thereby you can proc a skill, which is kind of good because the soul is also kind of banks and you get to draw, so it kind of fixes the draw issue. And what other thing is that Eugene is also good. If you want to play Best Harvest in Eugene, which is originally intended for Eugene, 1 or less Regan is also arguably nice, it's kind of good. So that's about it. So yeah, that's kind of nice. One thing I also want to forget to mention for Spinomarquis is that retire all of the opponent's Regan in same colors unit. You can bypass resist as well. Because you can bypass Bastion, Accord's resist, you can also bypass Eva. So in a sense that it's kind of like minor anti, it's anti-Eva, anti-Bastion. So interesting. So it's pretty nice. So we'll see how it goes. and that's about it. So next Thursday stream, we have revealing one great generic support for Dark States, which is the Great 3 one, which is all of the cards that's gonna get the support. And this one makes me laugh the hardest and makes me cope the hardest, right? Because next week we have technically a new Dragiro that does not appear in the anime with 3 more support cards with it. I have no idea what Bushiro is smoking, but this is typical Bushiro, so I can't complain. Bro, Michiro is not even out from the coma and you already give him a new card, which he himself not is gonna appear in anime, but you're gonna release it anyways. Okay, sure, fine. Alright, Bushiro, take it what you will. Alright, I'm both excited and annoyed at the same time. Excited because I have a new Dragiro to play with, because of course Dragiro Mascus I play Dragiro Mascus and I feel like that deck is technically very copium at this point for me. So I barely touched that deck for about like a month now, and so hopefully this new Dragiro kind of like fixes a lot of problems like draw problems or cost problems. I mean that's also like skill issue. Then again, people can tell me that is a skill issue problem because I need to control my counter blasts and whatnot. You need to have enough different grades in your soul, and then hopefully they can make this Dragiro card super good and not land in copium land. So what else can I say about this new Dragiro card? I'm pretty annoyed. Excited is because new Dragiro. Annoyed because my wallet is crying because I have no idea how expensive this card is gonna be. Hopefully it's gonna be cheap and it's not like when it's super expensive like the BT Dragiro from BT07, which still until today costs about like 60 to 70 ringgit Malaysia. So I have no idea. So hopefully this card is nice. Alright, fix the problem for Dragiro, then I'm good enough. Maybe give Dragiro a draw. I don't know. But the old Dragiro, like BT7 Dragiro can already like draw already, but that's provided if you so charge 2 different grades. Alright, anyways, I guess I would stop my ranting over here for like the new Dragiro, but you can get the clue what's to wait for next week. So I guess I'll end this video right here right now. So if you do enjoy my video, and if you watch this video up until this point, I would like to say thank you very much, and I will see you guys on the next video, which will be probably I will be talking about my next Tuesday stream or some deck profiles. I'm not sure what other deck profiles I can do. Probably I can do some Omnium Grigio deck profile, but I'm still in the process of building another Grigio, so I would probably talk something about in regards to the Bushiro presentation stream, which is on the 24th of September, which is a Sunday, and I'm gonna like do a video on that. I'm gonna have like a lot of expectations for that video. So yes, that's about it. I'll see you guys on the next video, and this has been Professor 095 signing out. Goodbye.